I never imagined a company party would redraw the map of my marriage so quickly and so quietly. I'm Callum Reeves, 43, married 12 years to Marissa, the woman I believe knew my boundaries as well as her own. The invitation said casual networking, drinks, dancing, nothing serious. I wasn't excited, but I went because husbands show up. I wore a clean shirt, smiled at our colleagues, shook hands, played my role. At first everything felt harmless, ordinary, safe. Then the music shifted, lights dimmed, laughter loosened, and something subtle cracked open inside me. That night changed everything permanently. Marissa works in marketing, confident, magnetic in rooms like this, always knowing where to stand. I usually hovered near walls, content watching her shine, proud even. The night her boss, Everett Sloan, loosened his tie and laughed too loudly. Music thumped, bodies moved closer, and suddenly Marissa was dancing, not with me, but with him. At first it looked playful, harmless swaying. Then hands lingered, hips aligned, her smile sharpened. I waited, expecting a glance back, a check-in, something. She never looked my way once, while the room seemed to quietly choose sides against me entirely. In silence there, I told myself not to overreact. Dancing isn't cheating, I repeated, like a mantra meant to sedate instinct. But instincts exist for a reason. Everett's hand slid lower, confident, familiar. Marissa leaned in, laughing at something he whispered. I watch men notice, women notice. I watched respect quietly leave the building. I stood alone holding a melting drink, invisible beside my own wife. Minutes stretched, each second heavier than the last. I felt small, unnecessary, like background furniture in a life I helped build, suddenly decorative, suddenly optional, painfully aware of how easily I could be replaced. When the song ended, applause broke out. Marissa hugged him, lingering, intimate, unnecessary. That was when her colleague, Rowan Blake, approached me, tall, polished, effortlessly attractive, the kind of man who never questions his place in a room. He nodded toward the dance floor, smirked slightly, and said, "If cheating starts with choices." That one was loud. Then he walked away, no threat, no warning. Just a sentence dropped like a match. I didn't confront her. I didn't interrupt. I just watched clarity arrive, calm and unforgiving, settling deep into my chest without drama or mercy. Marissa finally returned, cheeks flushed, eyes bright. "You okay?" she asked, distracted already. I nodded. What else do men do in moments like that? We swallow reactions and call it maturity. We don't embarrass our wives in public. We don't compete. We don't beg. I smiled, told her I needed air. Outside, the night was cool, grounding. I realized something important standing there alone. Respect doesn't vanish in one moment. It erodes when someone decides you no longer need to be considered. The dance wasn't about music. It was about permission she gave herself. The drive home was quiet. She hummed, scrolled her phone. Content. I asked nothing. At the house, she went straight to bed. I sat in the dark living room, replaying everything without anger, just accuracy. I understood then that love without respect becomes charity, and charity breeds resentment. I didn't want explanations. I didn't want apologies shaped by fear of consequences. I wanted truth. And truth had already shown itself on a crowded floor under cheap lights and louder excuses. The next morning I packed a bag, not in secret, not dramatically. I moved with intention. Marissa watched from the doorway, confused, irritated. I told her I was leaving. She laughed, said I was being dramatic, said nothing happened. I looked at her and said, something did. You chose it. She asked if this was about the dance. I said it was about what the dance represented. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't accuse. I simply refused to stay where I wasn't valued. She tried to argue later, to rewrite the night, to minimize, to mock my boundaries. I didn't engage. When respect is gone, debates are pointless. I stayed with my brother, Slept deeply for the first time in months. No weight on my chest. No questions circling my mind. Just silence that felt earned. I wasn't running. I was stepping away from a future where I would always be watching from the sidelines, applauding someone else's confidence while shrinking myself smaller. People asked what happened. I didn't tell the full story. I said we wanted different things. That was true. She wanted attention without accountability. I wanted partnership without competition. I learned something important from that night. Betrayal doesn't always look like secrets and hotel rooms. Sometimes it looks like a smile held too long, a hand placed without hesitation, a choice made because someone assumes you'll tolerate it. I didn't, and that decision, quiet and final, gave me back everything I thought I had lost.